Minister emphasizes that a joint task force led by the Regional Police Command and then Ghana Health Service officers will be enforcing this new directive. So there will be vaccination points at all the beaches along the coastline of Accra, so that people who do not have a proof of vaccination or have not received their jab will be vaccinated upon arrival at the beaches before they are allowed entry.
Yes, we are very excited because the first lockdown has really affected the beach. I can tell you on authority, we haven't been paid for almost 2 years because of the first closure. So this one came as a surprise to us because it came when it's 24 hours to Christmas. So we are not happy. But today, we are happy that we have been given the chance to go and operate. And we make sure that we adhere to the safety protocols.
You can't shy away from the fact that we must continue to live with the virus. So the important thing is you wear your nose mask, you practice consistent hand washing, you ensure you are vaccinated, and you keep the minimum spacing that is permitted, and you'll be fine.
An operator there interacting with my colleague Manuel Pranting. He'll bring us more from his visit to some of the beaches here in Accra. But we know that those restrictions were put in place ahead of the Christmas festivities to ensure our COVID-19 cases don't further shoot up. So what exactly is the situation now? Head of our health desk, Fred Smith, joins me in studio with an update. It appears something happened on Christmas Day.
Yes, indeed. People were out celebrating, but our cases, the infections we had on Christmas Day was 1,074. You recall that somewhere on 21st of December we had 1,324, then that dropped to 1,197. It went up a bit, 1,264, but it's come back down to 1,074. That's an improvement over the period, considering the fact that we moved from 27 cases on December 1 up to 1,074. But events on Christmas Day, we have 2 persons who are now in critical condition. Such persons need help before they can breathe. They're struggling with COVID. There are 18 persons with severe COVID cases also seeking treatment in hospital. In all, we have 1,287 deaths, and our active cases have now shot up to 9,534.
That's our current COVID-19 situation. Thank you very much, Fred Smith. That's the head of our health desk. Well, considering traveling to Dubai, we know that there's no travel restriction in place in Ghana just yet. But if you're thinking of traveling to Dubai, you have to think again because there's an indefinite suspension on travelers from Ghana and other parts of Africa to Dubai as we speak. And it is less than 72 hours since that directive was announced. But already, persons who work in the tourism industry are beginning to incur what they describe as huge losses. Managing Director of Adanse Travels and Tours, Gideon Asare, says some of his clients, among others, had already made hotel bookings paid for COVID-19 testing as well.
The effect, I can't even describe it. It's so huge. Most of our customers worried and they are confused. They don't know what to do. And this is a lot of investment that they have put into their travel. Besides that 50, we have another 90 people who are also scheduled to travel on the 5th, and then the 6th. They all have their tickets paid for, their hotels paid for. The sad aspect is even those who spend money to do COVID tests on Sunday, hoping to fly on Monday, and their COVID tests went wasted. They wasted that money.
Well, so that's Managing Director of Adanse Travels and Tours, Gideon Asare there. Well, let's get some clarity on this particular directive from Emirates and whether you can travel to Dubai. Is it just the Emirates airline? What exactly is the communication? Kwekwa Sante, you've been looking at it. Walk us through it.
Emefa, so if you look at Emirates website, that's emirates.com, they've actually clarified that this is not just a ban on their flights traveling to Ghana or to Dubai. It doesn't mean you can take another flight to Dubai, because if you read this, it says customers, that is, the topic is restrictions on entry and transit through Dubai. Customers originating from the following destinations will not be accepted for travel to or through Dubai with effect from 28th December 2021 until further notice. The countries Angola, Guinea, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Zambia, and then Zimbabwe. So they say that customers originating from Conakry to Dakar will also not be accepted. Outbound passenger operations from Dubai So these destinations remain unaffected. So if you are traveling into Ghana from Dubai, then you can do so. But
you can come
cannot
back, but you
travel from Ghana or any of these countries that I've mentioned to Dubai.
And you can't transit either.
You can't do that also.
Okay, thank you very much for that clarification. Well, the ranking member of Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, is unhappy about this particular directive, and he also says that some international travelers have been left stranded.
As I speak to you, you have stranded passengers who have made arrangements, they have bought their tickets, they have paid hotel bills, arrangements have been made for their pickup, and you leave them in limbo like this. And the most nauseating part is that this is so discriminatory, you just cannot imagine.
Well, and it's also asking other African countries and their leaders to retaliate and withdraw from the ongoing Dubai Expo. We're following up on that and bring you more on it. Now, price of petroleum products are expected to witness some marginal increase at the pumps from this weekend. This is based on data secured from bulk oil distributors of petroleum products. We have details in this report.
Based on the data secured by Joy Business, a litre of diesel should be going up by 1.24% per litre. Petrol should also be increased by almost 2% per litre. According to these bulk distributors, the increase has been influenced by the marginal adjustment in crude prices on the international market. From this weekend, the bulk oil distributors will be selling these new prices to oil marketing companies. The question now is whether or not the over 100 marketing companies will absorb the expected increase, or they will pass it on to the consumers. Some have argued that a lot more will depend on what the big oil marketing firms, including Goil, Shell and Total, will do in terms of adjusting prices as expected or hold on to any hike, looking at the intense competition in the oil marketing space. With the Omicron variant being gradually brought under control, some have made the point that the pickup in crude prices may not be ending anytime soon. Therefore, we could be starting the next year with some sustained price increases at the pumps. It therefore remains largely on the performance of the city.
Let's head to the Ashanti region now, and 3 persons have been arrested in connection with the clashes at Mampongting in the Kwabre East municipality. At least 4 persons were left injured during the fight. Kwesi Debra has more from a Security Council meeting held yesterday on the matter.
Violence erupted in the town Monday night after youth groups from 2 electoral areas within the town clashed following an attack on a young man who police say was robbed of his mobile phone on Christmas Eve. At least 4 people were injured as a rampaging youth destroyed some properties, forcing residents to flee for safety. The police were later called in to maintain law and order. They held talks with opinion leaders and urged the youth to remain calm. Security was later beefed up in the area following reports of fresh attack on a local mosque by some unknown persons. The police have, however, confirmed the arrest of 3 suspects. Chief Superintendent Stephen Kwesikwache is district commander.
And currently 3 of them are in custody and we are assisting investigation. Whereas the victims have also been visited at the hospital. You yourself can easily bear us out that when they're coming, there's total peace in town. And we are not withdrawing the men. The uniformed men are patrolling, as well as the CRD men are also going round.
At the Municipal Security Council meeting, the MC Nanosese Bebonsu said the council has put in place measures to ensure lasting peace in the area.
Of the conflicts and the situation is under control. That's what I'm saying. And you can see the Zongo chief here, and then the Mampongting Hills representative is also around. He came, and there's been a mutual agreement that we are all going to be peaceful. And we came to a conclusion that this is not an escalation between the Zongo youth and the Ashanti youth as being perceived out there.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Debra.
Now, one of Ghana's pristine buildings stand in what used to be a play area for colonial administration workers and elites of the then Gold Coast. The Ghana Club, founded in 1947, was a hotbed where some of the country's greats, from Kwame Nkrumah to President Mills, met to discuss anything of national interest. Today, it's an oasis in a busy area in downtown Accra. Joy News, Justice Bedu went to meet those working to keep the legacies of Ghana Club alive.
Ghana Club.
Dr. Adrian Ni Odoi's father was president of the Ghana Club in 1974. Today, an accomplished medic himself, he too has been elected president.
We had 2 tennis courts then outside, and we would be the ball boys. As our parents and their friends were playing, we would be the ball boys, and we would be rewarded with Coca-Cola or Fanta and some kebabs then.
Godfred Jan Nyante first came to work at the club in 1980. Today, 45 years on, he is the club's oldest and longest serving staff.
5th April 1980. That's when I came here in 1980, 5th April. There was a lot of members as at that time. Dr. Joseph Rata was a member. Professor Adubuahin was a member. The late Akosa, that is Professor Akosa's brother, was a member.
Back in 1947, the civil servants who started this club used to meet at what was then the British Council. They didn't have their own place, as the Europeans did then, and had their whites-only European club. And it was only in 1947 that we got given, the governor gave us this place. And, you know, it was the first Speaker of Parliament, Niyama Olenu, who was the first president.
The Ghana Club runs on membership. You must be recommended by 2 existing members in good standing. Applications are vetted and decisions are made to admit or reject anyone wanting to join. Like sand through the hourglass, the Ghana Club has stood the test of time. Inside its corridors, conversations over this country have been had by some of its most illustrious citizens. Those who manage today are poised to keep the flame aloft for many, many more years to come. Justice Bedu, Joy News, Accra.
We'll take a quick break here on the Midday News. Well, our top stories. No, you can now go to the beaches, but you have to show proof of vaccination. That's the latest from the Greater Accra Regional Security Council. When we return, we have sport, and then later Joy News Classroom Project getting results as work begins at the Jamra DA School block. We'll have details of that, and then we continue our build up to the review of the year 2021. And today we put the focus on event of the first quarter. Please stay with us. We're right back.
Because your lordships will
be satisfied with your answer.
No, you can't be satisfied with your answer when I have not completed my answer.
Respectfully, Mr. Chikata, these are matters of fact.
Yes, but
so in answering my question,
so may I complete?
Very well, Mr.
Because
Chikata.
Now this is something you've never experienced before. An evening of legendary performances and music. On the 1st of January 2022, 3 big GH legends shall rock one stage. Yes, it's the Cat Fam Legends Night, featuring Charles Kojo Fosu, aka DL, Daddy Lumba, Iron Boy, Abrontia Machidede, the Maestro, Mr. Music Man, Kojo NG. New Year, January 1st, 7 p.m. sharp, the Grand Arena, Accra International Conference Center. This is a VVIP show, so reserve your VVIP table early. Call 020-022-0202 or visit legendsnightgh.com or CatFam Dancima or East Legon. It's the CatFam Legends Night with Kojo NG, Daddy Lumba, and a Machidede. This event is powered by Terra Vista.
Many thanks for your company. It's time for sports.
Former Arsenal star Ian Wright says AFCON is the most disrespected continental competition. According to him, the European community have got no respect for Africans and their games.
Is there ever a tournament more disrespected than the African Cup of Nations? There's no greater honour, none, as a sports person, than representing your country. The coverage is completely tinged with racism, completely tinged. We played our Euros across 10 countries in the middle of a pandemic, and there's no issue at all. But Cameroon, a single country hosting a tournament, is a problem. You're getting journalists asking players getting asked if they will be honouring the call-ups for their national teams, if they will be honouring. Imagine if that was an English player representing the Three Lions. Have you ever heard anybody asking an English player if will he be honouring the call-up? Can you imagine the furore? Loads of the best players in Europe right now are African. And if we love them at club level, why can't we love them at international level like their counterparts from across the globe?
Emefa, that's a question everyone must answer.
We'll see. Thank you very much, Muftar, for sports. Now, do you remember the story of when the Auditor General was forbidden or locked out of his office because of issues about his retirement? How about when the Supreme Court delivered its verdict on the election petition and when the President Akufo-Addo took his first jab against COVID-19? Let me bring you a playback of some of the major stories which featured in the news in the first quarter of the year 2021.
The Supreme Court ruled EC boss Jean Mensah cannot be compelled to testify in the election petition hearing, but that came after these arguments. At one point, this is what happened between lawyer for the petitioner and a judge.
It has no significance for the reliance that we placed on it in the conduct of our case, because your lordships will
be satisfied with your answer.
Well, you can't be satisfied with your answer when I have not completed my answer.
Respectfully, Mr. Chikata, these are matters of fact.
Yes, but
so in answering my question,
so may I complete?
Very well, Mr. Chikata.
We heard some apologies at the Appointments Committee first from Minister Designate for Communications and Digitization, Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, on why she sat on Mr. Akando during the speakership debate.
The chair was pulled from under me and I fell to my knees. And so when I got up, I said, if you are not going to let me sit on my chair, you are not going to sit on your chair. And I have apologized to him.
Another from the Minister Designate for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Haa Kumsin, on why she fired gunshots at a polling center.
Mr. Chairman, I want to seize this opportunity to also apologize to the people who were so scared on that day. It was in defense of myself.
But that was not all from Madam Haa Kumsin.
What is the per capita consumption of fish in Ghana?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know whether I have a hearing problem. I'm not getting the sound very well.
The National Canoe Fishermen Council analyzed her performance.
She did not perform. Even people who are not related to fisheries can tell that she did not express knowledge on the issues that affect our fish.
When Minister Designate for Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amakwata, sat before the committee, he talked about tolls.
If I am giving the approval, I will have to go to Cabinet first, proposal of increasing the toll rate.
Motorists were quick to respond.
I don't think it's right for him to increase because we still have potholes that every time you have to swerve.
What would the increase add to the existing road?
Government announced the approval of AstraZeneca and Sputnik 5 COVID-19 vaccines for emergency use.
We should be clamoring to get it.
Meanwhile, the minority has some issues to settle with government.
We are going to move a motion demanding a full-scale inquiry into the Frontiers Healthcare Services contract at the airport.
And there's more on this on our yearly wrap as we build up to the year in review. Now, work has begun on the multimedia classroom project. Using the hydrofoam technology, the project engineer, Samuel Kofi Agbenyega, says work will be completed in 1 month. The multimedia classroom project is an initiative to explore philanthropy for development at the community level. It is expected to provide safe learning environment for some 700 school children in the central and northern regions. Thankfully, Samuel Kofi Agbenyega, the project engineer, joins us on the line. We're grateful for your time, sir. So, which of the two sites are you now?
I'm currently at Bremanjam.
Bremanjam, you say?
We are now, yes.
Okay, great. And what's the second site? Just to update us.
Pardon?
Which one will be the second site?
The second site is somewhere in
Northern region.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But what kind of work is currently underway?
Okay, currently we are preparing the grounds for the foundation start, and then also we are hauling nitrites for the modern blocks. So material, some of them have arrived, and then we're expecting them for the day.
Mr. Agbenyaga, I plead with you to reposition yourself. I keep losing you along the line, but whilst you do that, yes, it's perfect. But how many classroom units are under construction?
Okay, we are doing 3 units, one with the office. That is for the people of Bremen. And the same for the other region.
And we are expected to complete in a month?
Yes, that is if we don't have any nature interruptions, as in as weather conditions. Or if apart from that, anything else finished by.
Okay. It appears it's a bit difficult hearing fully Mr. Samuel Kofi Agbenyaga, but we'll do more of this and hear him subsequently. That's the project engineer. Many, many thanks to the Israeli Embassy, the Forestry Commission, DBS, and to all you, our cherished audiences, for your kind donations so far. You can still do so if you haven't done that yet. Support the Classroom Project in cash and in kind, especially. For all your Momo transactions, you can send your donations. At least we don't have e-levy just yet, but it's 059 30 388 32. It's 059 30 38 832. The Multimedia Group Limited, that's the name. Or you can call 030 221 1680 for further inquiries. The Classroom Project, promoting social justice through philanthropy. The Classroom Project is brought to you is in support with the Star Ghana Foundation and funding by the Dutch Foreign Affairs Ministry under the Given for Change initiative. And just before we go, sourced from heartfelt donations across Ghana, inmates from 25 orphanages and homes for the poor and disadvantaged are to benefit from food, clothing, and cash in Inshira FM's annual Inshira Bodo being held in Kumasi today. The annual charity program invites the poor and children with no family to dine and take home donations from listeners of the station. Love FM's in Erastus Asaridonko is at the event, he reports.
So these items range from rice, clothes, shoes, used clothing, from food to oil to everything. I'll call them items of love, coming in from people who were touched when Inshira FM and the Multimedia Group invited them to donate towards the poor. Now, Inshira Bodo, let me call it Widow's Mite, is something that the Multimedia Group does to put smiles and hope on the faces of the less privileged in society. Today is the D-Day where many of these charity homes come around. Children who are less privileged, people who are disadvantaged, come to be feted right here on the premises of Inshira and Love FM. Now, I have with me here the events and promotions executive for Love and Inshira FM, Eric Inkum. Now, tell me, where are these items going?
There are a lot of children's homes in Kumasi. We have about 70 of them. And through the donations of our listeners, we've been able to get huge number of items to be given out to these orphans, these kids who have no source of livelihood. Well, not just the items, there's some cash to be given out as well. Because we at Multimedia believe that when you put a smile on the faces of these young ones who have no source of livelihood, God in return blesses you. So we're doing this in partnership with our loyal listeners who have always been with Inshira and Love FM. And we say thank you to them.
And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We're also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, ATL FM in Cape Coast, Ganga FM in Jirapa, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. Living Word with Pastor Mensoltable is up next. I am Emefa Apawu. Thanks for your company.
want eat, just Momo it. When you tire for the long queue in the supermarket, just Momo it. And when you really want that beautiful new blouse too, just Momo it. And when you won't get that trim, when you go get fresh to impress, you know who, just Momo it.